about her memories of Nelson Mandela. Well, joining me now, we have Anna Hunter, who met Nelson Mandela through his artwork, but also Suresh Kamath, who you were a part of the anti-apartheid movement. Thank you both for joining us this evening. Now, do you think that people realise just how instrumental London and Britain was in terms of the anti-apartheid movement?
Yeah, London was the centre of the international anti-apartheid movement. Mandela came here in 1990 to thank the people of London, to thank the people of Britain, and to thank the people of the world for what they'd done to help in the campaign to get him released.
And what does it feel like for you being here, knowing, you know, you had celebrations here, of course, when he was released, and your protests here, you know, to get rid of apartheid? How does it feel for you to be back here for his death?
It's very sad to be here because Mandela was such an inspiration, so much part of our lives for the last quarter of a century and more. You know, time moves on, and he was 95 years old. We should now be celebrating what he's given us, the inspiration he's given us to bring people together, people who have been in conflict.
Of course. I mean, you're shaking your head there. I mean, when we talk of inspiration, of course, these works of arts that he produced, he started a series of artworks from 2001, having gone back to Robben Island, and you met him in Johannesburg. I mean, how important was that artwork to Nelson Mandela?
Well, he did tell us that when they finally let me retire, I want to be a full-time artist. So it meant a lot to him, and he spoke movingly on Robben Island, which is a very grey place, about how he loved drawing with colour.
I mean, we're seeing shots of that now on screen. And I mean, which one of those pieces is your favourite?
I think probably the window, which has a series of bars, and outside of it is Table Mountain. And he very carefully drew this piece. I've met people who watched him doing it, and they said that it was a real piece of imagination on his part.
I mean, it's great that he was able to express the creativity in that way.
It was,
I mean, did they sell well? Did you raise lots of money for charity?
Yes, I mean, they've done very well, and people are very moved by them. And I think the wonderful legacy is that through these pictures, which are so bright and cheerful, they show how we can all transcend terrible adversity, as he did, and look to the future and to be gracious.
I mean, when you talk of celebration and looking to the future, I mean, Suresh, you and the anti-apartheid movement arranged two incredible concerts in his memory whilst he was inside, and of course when he came out. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, in 1988, we knew that Mandela was already an iconic figure, but we wanted to commemorate and put pressure on the British government and on world governments and on the South African government to get him released before his 70th birthday. So in June 1988, we put on a massive concert and a world event that would broadcast over dozens of countries and was seen by hundreds of millions of people.
I mean, did the movement expect it to get so big?
Oh
to get
no,
so many people behind it?
I think when we started, we thought we'd be organising a concert at Wembley Stadium. You know, the fact that it was broadcast by the BBC meant that it was able to be broadcast to hundreds of millions of people across the world. As I said, Mandela was already an iconic figure, but I think that the concert helped to put greater pressure on the oppressive South African regime to get him released. And we were really ecstatic when in February 1990 he was released, and then even more pleased when he agreed to come to Wembley Stadium in April 1990 for another celebratory concert.
And of course, I guess it proves the power of protest, really, that this little group that was formed in 1959 was able to achieve such wonderful things. So it does show the power of protest works, surely.
It shows that the power of protest is important, and you can't rely on your leaders all the time. But, you know, you've got to remember, this wasn't a small organisation just in London. The governments all over the world, the Indian government, the Swedish government, and people in other countries, in the United States, in France, in Africa particularly, people in the frontline states, they were clamouring for the end of apartheid. They wanted to get rid of this racist regime.
Okay, well, Suresh and Anna, thank you both so much for joining us and talking to us this evening.
Thank you very much.
Well, as we've been hearing, London was host to Nelson Mandela during many times in his lifetime. For a full gallery of some of the iconic photographs captured when he came to London, go to our website, itv.com/London. Well, we'll be talking more about the life of Nelson Mandela and London's impact on the anti-apartheid movement later on in the programme. We've been asking Londoners what the icon meant to them.